Ciao my lovelies! As you can see, I'm currently in this beautiful storage room. I'm actually supposed to be working right now, but it's a slow day anyways. I've recently been seeing a bunch of comments of you guys wanting help with your Minecraft skins or messaging me for advice. Being the amazing businesswoman that I am, I've decided to feed two sheep with one treat and make a series where I give you guys advice on your Minecraft skins. This is Will We Fix It? As this was my very first Will We Fix It, I decided to pick the participants through a Discord giveaway, and our three winners were Hatrim, Minty, and Drayden. So let's actually start with Hatrim. I believe his current skin was made by Stelliana on Planet Minecraft. So we're gonna go off of that, and he appears to have just added a little horsetail to the back, and that's pretty much it. So a little bit about the skin maker. She does have a really good grasp of color theory because of the fact that she does art as well. That being said, while it's honestly a really high quality skin, there's just a few things that she can do to make it even better. I'm going to be covering the main things that I saw, which were the shading for the hoodie, the shading on the back, these flowers, and the horsetail that Hatrim added. I'm also going to give a few pieces of advice for things that I feel like she should look out for in the future. Hi, voiceover Chloe here. I just wanted to go over a few things that I did for this skin. Let's start off with the hoodie, as this is the thing that I mainly focused on. I noticed that the way that they shade the hair is very similar to the way that they shaded this hoodie. I believe in order for a skin to look a little bit more professional, put together, it's nice to have your own unique shading style for articles of clothing, especially bland pieces of clothing. Often skin makers like to put as much detail onto skins as possible so they don't have to worry about this, but there will be times where you just have to shade a big piece of clothing, kind of like the hoodie and the back for the skin. So I decided to do that, but keep it very similar to her original style. I basically mirrored that shading style onto the shirt so it would look more put together. Again, this is just completely optional. I just think it makes the skin look a little bit nicer. I also went in and changed up the flowers. While they look amazing and I love the way that you shaded them, I do think they could use a little bit more of that 3D pop by getting rid of that other piece of second layer and making the highlight only on the second layer. I probably sound like such a nerd right now, but it's kind of hard to give proper advice when this person is already really good at skin making, I'm not gonna lie. Lastly, I did move the horsetail up a little bit and shaded it a little bit more cohesive with the colors and whatnot. That's pretty much everything that I did for the skin. I did want to go over a few things specifically for this skin maker. I believe that considering you've only been making skins for what, 2-3 months, you have an amazing sense of decorating. I think you are very good at picturing what something looks like in your head and then putting it on that skin. Where I do believe you lack a little bit is second layering. I can kind of tell that you're just a little bit afraid of second layers, and I would highly encourage you to try using more second layers, as I think they could really help your skin look just that much more advanced. This is also something that I just personally noticed because it's how I also started out making Minecraft skins. I believe it's time for you to try using RGB mode or relying less on the HSL shift mode in order to make your skins. I know I keep saying this, but I think you are doing such an amazing job considering you just started making skins. I'm honestly really excited to see what more is to come from you. And here's what the skin looks like after. I feel like the skin was more professional advice if anything, so there's not really too much of a difference, but then again, it's a very beautiful skin as is. For those of you who don't know who Minty is, she's my very lovely staff member that basically climbed her way all the way to the top, and I've actually made quite a few skins for her myself, most notably being the one that she's wearing right now, which is a fan skin that I made her. This is one of the very few skins that she has made herself, and I think it is so cute. While Minty isn't necessarily a skin artist, and I don't know if she's really interested in becoming one, being by my side for so long, she kind of picked up a few things, and I think it's honestly kind of incredible how much you can pick up just from being near other skin artists and being influenced by skin artists. The very main thing that I want to focus on with the skin, which I've noticed, is her values. If we pull this graph up here, you can see what I mean. Some of the colors are very similar in value, and it's a little bit plain, just a little bit. I really do love the design of it, but I think we could do a little more. To start off with Minty skin, the first thing I wanted to do was change the values so they wouldn't be so so close to each other. I feel like specifically the white and the blonde hair, it was just too close. I gave her this baby blue color, but I didn't really like it. I felt like it was still not enough contrast. So I went a little bit darker with somewhat of a navy blue that I know Minty likes. For some reason, she really enjoys dressing up like her flag, Finnish flag. So if anything, this is probably more up her alley. I then proceeded to work on the face and the hair. This is more so criticism to older me because I made her face skin, but her hair and her skin tone were very dull. I also fixed up her ears to have more depth rather than just being a second layer on top of the original layer. And I think that really helped the ears look a little nicer. I also changed the flowing part of her hair to give it a bit more volume. And lastly, I just really shaded the rest of the stuff. The only thing that I added that was different was probably the highlight. Back then, because I used to make Minecraft skins for people who didn't know how to make Minecraft skins, I never really added highlight to the skins, but I think the highlight makes it look so much nicer, so I did add that. And then I shaded everything pretty much the same. My biggest piece of advice for Minty would definitely be to explore colors. She has a good grasp of shading down because of the fact that she's seen me do it so many times, and also kind of placing the outfit. She's really good at those two things. I do think she could develop her colors a little bit more. Other than that though, she's got it in the bag. I feel like you can tell she's very influenced by some of my older work, as in the ones that I used to make that didn't have color, didn't have a format. She very clearly made her own take on the skin, and I think it's gorgeous. I really do love it. And I honestly hope she gets into skin making because I think she has a lot of potential. And here's what she looks like. I think she's so adorable. I wanted to add a little bit more detail to the sweater by giving it some sort of accent, but I did want to keep the simplicity of the original skin. And here's what it looks like in grayscale. Let me know what you think. Ciao! If you're enjoying the video so far, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and maybe checked out some of my other videos. Only 4% of the people watching are subscribed, so there's a pretty good chance you're one of them. I'm also super close to being monetized, and I would really appreciate it if you could help me out. Help me feed my staff, please. Anyways, back to the video. I actually really love how colorful this skin is. I feel like boy skins nowadays have so little color. I actually really love it. You don't really see these kind of skins anymore. I do think the shading is a little bit messy and we're probably gonna improve on that. Some of the colors also don't really match, so I'm gonna go over that too. Overall, I'm just gonna try to polish the skin and give him some advice. Let's get into it. So a big thing with Raiden's skin was honestly just the tint of the skin. I can tell that he took a base from that jacket he has on because it was the only piece of clothing that had a tint on the skin, so I went off of that. You can see me doing some nerdy stuff right there, like trying to get the color of the tint. It was a very deep bluish color. My biggest thing with the skin was keeping the same personality that the skin has. I say that so much, I swear. I genuinely believe that personality is more important than anything else on a skin. That being said though, I did change up the shading a little bit just to clean it up. You could kind of tell that it was very all over the place, and I mean mine is still not the best because I did try to keep the same shading of the jacket and everything else is kind of my take, so the jacket is a little bit out of place, but I think I did a good job at making everything look together. I also did a few second layering adjustments. I really do love how creative you are with your skins, Raiden, and honestly, I don't want to take that away. I'm trying to do it justice, but I do think you kind of struggle with second layering. I feel like you have the opposite problem where you love putting second layering on so many things, and I feel like that kind of makes it look a bit clunky sometimes. I did kind of tone down the second layering and I think it looks a little bit better, but you let me know what you think because at the end of the day it is your skin. Another thing too, like I said, was mainly the colors. That's what I worked on the most of everything. I did fix up the second layering for the head, such as the headphones and the hair. I tried to keep the same style of the hair, just shading it a little bit nicer. I also fixed up the second layering for the gloves. I did think the gloves were a bit too clunky, and I also cleaned up the legs, and that's pretty much it. And here is what Raiden's skin looks like now. I honestly love it so much, dude. I don't know how many of you guys have watched my entire history of Minecraft skins video, but this is such a cool internet era skin. I actually love it so much. And here's what they look like next to each other. Now, if you are interested in being a part of the next Will We Fix It, I have now officially opened up applications for you to submit your skin. You can find it in the link below in my bio and just give me as much information as you can about your skin. I will be picking at random depending on what catches my eye, so the more info I have, the better chances you have of being a part of the video. Anyways, that will be it from me today, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye!